Valiant Rocket.
Paul Macbeth with the ace, yeah. Fizzle man with the face, yeah. Sexy beats call me Nate, yeah. I got too much sauce on my plate, yeah. Devin Owens with the left hand. Shout out D Money from the West, man.
All right, and welcome back to the 28th Annual City Automobile Championships presented by Dynamic Disc. And after the front nine, we have MADGA and Gibney on fire right now, 6 down through 9, and Downey and Cam have a bit of a slower start, but doing well. And I am Dustin Mouret, and joining me is actually Chris Downey, as we just watched MADGA throw a pretty darn ideal tee shot.
Yeah, he's about 25, 30 short, and that's about as good as it gets on this hole.
Yeah, it's blind off the tee, and oh, he kind of yanked that one.
Yeah, and
I feel like that's one of Gibney's first big errors of the round.
I think this is his first big error of the round, and it's a tough up shot.
And you absolutely ripped a rock. And if Matt's shot was ideal, that is right there next to it.
Yeah, I went a little deep, but I'm in a good position for a putt for it.
Yeah, you have to throw something really straight with just a slight fade. We did have a lot of wind, as you can see here as well, kind of impacting the flight, so people have to be a little bit more careful. And Cam's, it looks like it might be fading a little too early. And indeed, it does get down this hill, but still pretty darn close to the basket for a putt.
Yep, and that's the one miss on this hole that people try to avoid just because there is a little creek down there with some water in it.
And yeah, Gibney's approach shot is far, far from ideal.
And early release, so going to need a lot of help. I don't think he got into the creek, but I think he's going to be right on the edge.
Oh, wow. That's actually not as bad as I thought. He definitely has a good chance to get up here and at least save a bogey out of this. He's not going to mess around with it too much. Just throw the putter up there, make sure he gets his bogey and gets out of there.
Yeah, but it's not the way he wanted to start this back nine, but he's had a hot start, so he's not as bad as
I mean, at this point, it's just kind of automatic when MADGA sets to his live for a putt.
Yeah.
He hasn't missed one yet, I feel.
Nope, and I don't know if he will. He gets dead center every single time.
Again, he's been really loving those speed Model S's, and you're really loving that Wizard because that's another big birdie for you.
Yeah, and I think that's 3 in a row for me, so I'm starting to kind of get back into a groove and hopefully continue my hot streak in the rest of this final 9 hole.
Cam with the PA3 having to go to a little bit of a straddle stance. Not his normal one, but still gets the job done, no problem. He's also kind of right there with you, kind of playing recovery a little bit here lately. You know, really solid to get those. Starting to gain a little bit of ground there on Gibney at least, and there I am, walking around with the water bottle in my hand. I was having fun joining the card. I don't remember anything that happened there, but now that I'm reliving it, it's really a lot of fun. As we look at hole 11, which is one of those holes that is high risk, high reward. I don't think a lot of you are looking to take a lot of risk today.
No, most of the time we'll throw a putter off the tee and come to this landing zone right here and then just throw our stable putters and mid-ranges to land on this little strip right here. You will have a couple people take a distance driver and try to get the 2 on this hole, but most of the time people just make it a 3-shot hole and just lay up, as we see MADGA about to do right here.
Yeah, just a very simple layup for all these players. I feel like the only way people are going for it off the tee is A, if there's a tailwind, or B, if they need strokes bad. And this early in the tournament, it's not really a need to try.
This hole right here, we kind of just we play it, get your 3, and move on to the next hole. And I actually pulled that shot a little bit and got really lucky to fight through the little bit of brush on that side.
Yeah, and everyone you can see here is doing exactly what they need to with these putters, just putting themselves in position to be able to approach. Again, with this being a par 4, you can play this safe tee shot and make sure that you're going to still get your birdie out of this. As Gibney ripped this one, and we were all a little bit concerned that maybe he had done it a bit too much, but he had a sticky plastic, and so that had no chance of skating down the hill, and he's just fine.
Yep, and then this is the second shot I was talking about. You just take something a little overstable and just kind of hang it out and just let it crash into that basket. And MADGA is going to continue his little hot streak because he's underneath the basket.
Indeed he is. And I imagine a lot of people are going to be joining him here soon as you're going to throw a similar line. Again, a lot of people take this line. And you check out there quite nicely with, I believe that's your zone.
Yeah, that's my zone. And I just hung it out wide and just let the disc do the work.
Cam doing the same thing. Got a little bit of an unfavorable roll back down to the other side of the slope. And he might have a tree obstruction, but still may have a chance there as we see Gibney step up. The last approach that we have here on the hole. I think he's still on the same exact disc he threw off the tee. So that's one of the A-series discs and like a softer plastic. And Gets down there okay. A little deep as far as, you know, being off to that side, but still good.
Yeah, we're all about, I think Gibney's the farthest out at about 20, 25 feet, but this putt right here, we're putting into what it feels like a headwind back towards the water, and first signs of Gibney's, I guess, a little nerves, but he missed that one left.
I think that the wind was really getting into people here, and it's understandable. I mean, especially with water behind the basket, you want to obviously not bring that into play. So people trying to throw low into a headwind and hope that it's going to rise, and it never really did.
Yeah, and then, you know, Cam, like, that was his. He putted and it was just a little low. And, didn't really get the reaction he wanted, and me and Matty are just going to tap in our threes right here and just kind of move onto the next hole.
This is 4 in a row or 5 in a row for you, I feel like, at this point now.
I believe it was 4.
Because from 8 forward, I feel like.
Yeah, and I'm starting to, you know, hopefully get into the little groove that I need to get into to get myself back in the tournament.
As we see that, yourself and Matt take the birdies here, Gibney and Cam tap in those pars, and so here you go, Downey. This is where you're starting to gain ground. You're now only 1 stroke behind second place. Matteo, again, still just crushing.
Number 1 best small college in Alabama and a premier competitor in the NAIA, the University of Mobile provides a world-class, Christ-centered education designed to put our graduates at the top of their field. You don't want to miss out on the college experience here at UM. From amazing events to high-quality academic programs, we make sure you have a one-of-a-kind college experience. You can choose from a variety of residential facilities with great amenities and outstanding dining options. At the University of Mobile, we want you to be involved. Our 880-acre campus also features beautiful outdoor recreation options, a 24-hour fitness facility, and plenty of space for you to create deep friendships and lasting relationships. Come experience it for yourself. Visit umobile.edu/apply for more information.
And we are back, and we're getting into it fast. We're on hole 12, which is very that straight shot you have to throw. A little bit of a hill kind of in front of the tee you have to get over, but other than that, I mean, this is right here in front of you.
Yeah, you just take your straightest putter and just right over top of this hill and just let it fade to the basket.
Yeah, this played really easy. I think it was one of the easiest holes probably for the MPO field, as it usually is up there, I feel like. And as long as you don't hit one of these early trees, it's pretty easy to get up there and get your putt. So kind of walking up to this, you kind of expect a star frame from this card.
Yeah, this hole, man, after hole 11, if you mess up 11, this is the hole to kind of, get you back on track and just throw whatever you throw straight, just throw it up to the basket.
Yeah, everyone has a pretty good chance to get a birdie here. Should be pretty routine putts for most of our players. Again, Gibney's only had that one miss basically on hole 11, and other than that, his putting has been absolutely on point right there next to Matteo.
Yeah, it was good to see Gibney get one back and hit in the center of the chains there.
Yep, and you get yours as well. So I think that's maybe 5 in a row for you now. Because
Yeah.
again, since hole 8, you've been knocking them down.
Yeah, 5 in a row, and I still can't gain a stroke on Matt. So it tells you how good Matt's playing right now.
Yeah, 9 down through 12. So he's still bogey free, and he's getting a lot of birdies. Again, he has been crushing it on tour here lately. Did well at Waco, did well at Texas State's, and just had a really good swing, won a couple of events, and that is literally the perfect forehand.
Yeah, he's not slowing down at all right now.
This is such a tough shot, I feel like, to pull off the backhand turnover.
Yeah, and I pulled it a little bit, and I caught the one little bit of the push that you had to make.
I think you beat the corner, though, so you should still have a really clean approach to at least make sure that you get a par, maybe have some type of long putt run, and what a tree kick there for Cam. I didn't even know that happened, but, I mean, that helped him out a little bit. Oh, man. Gibney was struggling with his forehand this day. Just kept rolling it.
Yeah, and, I think he got a favorable kick out of those bushes so that he has a little shot.
What a run, Downey.
Yeah, I left it a little high, but, I mean, for as far as I was out, that was kind of just a layout.
You were probably like 90-plus feet away from the basket there, so, I mean, that was definitely a solid run. Definitely going to get your par, and like you said, at least there was a bit of a kick here for Gibney to have something. He jump putts as well, and also gave it a pretty good bid.
Yeah, and, Andy did a really good job showing where Gibney was at. Where I was standing at, I couldn't even see Gibney. So it was a really good upshot by Gibney to get up there and get his 3.
Yeah, everyone's going to be able to clean up here. Again, really good forehands from both Cam and Matteo getting right next to the basket to get their birdies, and now you guys are just looking to clean up your par putts, but obviously still making sure you take your time, get through your routine, and knocking them down.
Yeah, and we're finishing up this hole, and then we're getting ready to go into what I think is the hardest hole. Don't know how it played over the tournament, but for me, it's the hardest hole on.
Man, Cam's already 10 down through 13. I mean, I can't tell you how monstrous of a score this is starting to shape out to be for this course off the blue tees. It is not an easy course, especially off blues. So we got a little bit of a drone footage here. Why don't you walk us through hole 14 as we get waved to by our lovely community members out there?
Yeah, and 14, there's 2 shots off the tee. You can throw a turnover backhand and try to land right where this guy is walking to set yourself up for the second shot, or forehand. And then, once you get there, it doesn't get easier. You have this tight forehand gap that you have to throw through to hopefully not kick right into these bushes, and then just a long finish to the right.
It is a fairly decent distance par 4 that's also very technical. It's kind of that perfect synchronization of, technicality and distance covered.
Yeah, you got to throw 2 really good shots to get off the hole, or you're going to be in trouble.
As Matty goes for the backhand turnover play, and that tree stopped that from basically being perfect, but still, he's going to have a little bit of a look to get up the fairway.
It looks like Cam may have pulled this a little bit, but it stayed on the inside, and
it does not get better than that. But unfortunately, that last second placement, I think, might have him obstructed, but that looked beautiful.
That's as far as I've seen anyone get on this hole. I'm just ripping my mid-range, and I caught the tree I had to miss.
Hey, you're playing for my tees now.
Yep, and spoiler alert, I am not that spot.
Well, actually, that was the red tee. I play from whites. Give me a little bit of credit, but still, that was, not bad.
And Gibney made the one mistake that you can't make on the hole and released it on Heiser.
Oh, he's in there, by the way. He is in the thickness of the brush. He's basically got nothing, I don't think.
No, I think smart play would be just try to get as far as you can with a layup, and that's what he did. Now he's in a position where he could possibly attack the basket.
Love to show up discipline there. Just take your medicine. Don't try to force something as you throw. And
I yanked it a little bit, hit a tree, and just kind of kicked into the one spot you don't want to be on this.
I feel like you were having a very love-hate relationship with that rock throughout this round.
Yeah, man, that one is my more flippy rock. So usually like my Heiser flip shots.
Oh my goodness. And that's the one thing I was starting to notice from Matteo this tournament is his touch forehands. He's always been a really well-rounded player, but his touch forehands, they've taken a real step up this year.
Yeah, and just, watching Matteo in the woods is a treat. Because, that's what he likes to do. And what a shot by Gibney to have a chance to save his 4.
That's such a big bounce back. You're absolutely right. And again, Cam looks so good off the tee. You would think that this man's destined to get a rare birdie. And unfortunately, just a wall of trees ahead of him here.
And that was a really good kick off that tree, but he threw it straight in front of him and just happened to get a lucky kick. And I have nothing over here.
Maybe you can dish out one of the classic tomahawks from Tomahawk Eyes.
And I hit one of the first trees trying to get over the tops. Now I'm in scramble mode to try to.
It's more like butter knife dies there. But that one's good. That looks really good.
Yeah, that was my zone.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Downey. What a bounce back, man. So that's still a par save for you, correct?
No, that would, I'm tapping in for a bogey.
Okay.
Yeah, but, from where I was at, I'll take it.
Oh, that was a good bid. Not bad. Definitely we'll be able to clean up from there. He
hits metal from no matter what distance right now with his putt.
Almost landed it on top of that thing like it was a helipad. Oh, just a little high.
I thought Gibney saved that 4, and that'd have been a really good force save from where he was off that drive.
Oh, absolutely. Again, way in the rough off the tee, but able to, come back, put himself in a position to maybe par out. Just happened to be a little high on the putt. Cam going to clean up his par, but definitely he was looking for birdie based on where he was at off the tee, so he'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Everyone else is just kind of cleaning up here. And I want to give a shout out because we had only a single birdie on hole 14 for the MPL field. That was Oliver Richardson. So as we see everyone else kind of mopping up here as we move on to hole 15, just want to give a shout out to one of our locals. And here we are on hole 15, another par 4 coming at you, almost 550, and that's actually one of the first times I feel like Matty has really had a bad tee shot this whole round.
I think that might be the only bad shot Matt's thrown this entire round.
Polar opposite, of course, now being this shot from Cam, which is an absolute beauty.
Yeah, and that's prime position to attack this hole and get your 3.
Here you are stepping up, trying to take a very similar route, and it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I just got to miss that last tree. I missed it.
You're like that one-up guy at the party where Cam tells a really good story, and then you're like, but I did something even cooler. That was a great shot.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this hole, man, you just take your mid-range or your fairway driver, and you just try to throw it on that right gap.
What an emotional roller coaster that was, by the way. Gets an amazing initial tree kick, and then gets the worst kick of a lifetime afterwards. And now Matty has a tough scramble shot here. You're kidding me. No way he just did that. Yeah. What a great flex. I think that was a D2.
Yeah, and Matty just continues his great shots with his forehand.
Well, caught a little bit of a kick on that brush right in front of him, which kind of knocked it off its trajectory. Now we're at Cam shot. And just a money approach.
Yeah, don't get much better than that.
Yeah, he's just surgically approached that hole. And you had the forehand lane here, but you decided to go for the backhand instead, which that was an equally good option, but just got a little unfortunate there, it looks like, Downey.
Yeah, I hung it in a little far to the left, and I probably should have went a little bit less stable than the zone on that approach shot.
I mean, the fact that Matty is about to get a par after what happened to him off the tee on this hole is so impressive.
Yeah, he was maybe 70 feet off the tee to the right in another fairway, or to the left in another fairway.
What a run you just gave that, by the way, Downey. That looked on track for quite a while. No problem, though. It looks like we're going to see everyone, pretty much clean up from this point forward, you'd have to imagine. But again, shout out to Matteo for just such a great par recovery, and shout out to Cam for just every shot being brilliant, I feel like, on this hole for him.
Yeah, he made this hole look really easy for, pretty difficult hole.
Yeah, played .4 actually over par on the day, so it was right outside the top 5. They only had 6 birdies in the tournament in its entirety, and Cam being the only one on this card to do it. So definitely was a difficult hole. As we move on to hole 16, which is polar opposite. Definitely one of the easier holes, I feel like, on the course.
Yeah, but, it still takes, a good shot to get the hole. But Cam shows us, the shot that you got, though, is just that straight putter.
Yep. One of those ones that's right there in front of you. You just got to make sure you control that speed and control that angle and just don't hit it first available off the tee, basically. But that also looks beautiful from Matteo. It's going to skate up there nicely. And, I mean, those are just the most ideal shots you could really ever ask for on this hole. You're coming up next here.
Yep, and I'm throwing a maiden, and I kind of do like more of a flex shot, and I just hung that one out too far to the left, but I still should have about a 35-footer to the basket.
Was that a little of an early release for you?
It
or
was.
Okay, yeah. You could definitely see the flight path was good. It just came out a little too early, and now we see Gibney throwing his, and I think he's going to get too much fade.
Yeah, but I think he got pin high. He's just going to be in
the
woods a little bit for a putt.
You might have like an obstructed 20-footer from there, so I'm just taking a look at your shot. Kind of right on the edge of circle one, I think.
Yeah, and that had no chance out of my hand. I just did not commit to that putt whatsoever.
Oh, wow, he had more of an opening than I thought he would have, actually. He has a real good chance to still get this, it looks like here. He thought he had missed it, but we were all confused because it looked dead on the whole time. I guess from his perspective, it looked a little left, but gets in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was moving left. I didn't think.
I'm gonna clean up my par and
It wasn't my normal
be
swing,
the
so I just
only
felt
par
like it
on
was
this
moving
hole, and
left.
this is a hole that you really want to get in the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Like on the back nine, especially, there's not too many gimmies. You feel like 16 is one of the ones you really want. So we see Matteo continues to press ahead, 11 down. Cam, starting to finally get to where you kind of expect him to be on this course, starting to do some good things as well. Now we get on to hole 17, and this is another toughie.
Yeah, this one you have two little gaps. You can either go straight up the middle, or you can play the little soft hyzer around the right side to kind of end up in this fairway that we're coming up to. And then the second shot's, touch turnover with a little bit of a flex to get up to this basket. And this green plays a little fast, and just I've seen this land 30-foot short that ended up being like 30-foot long.
I thought that last line of trees is what gets people, the one that we just kind of flew by a second ago. Like, you can throw a really good tee shot and still wind up having a very small gap that you have to hit on your approach that can make things a bit difficult, and it kind of makes it where you don't feel like you get as rewarded as maybe you'd want. I know that there was some discussion about that, but we're going to see Cam come up next with the D1 and a really good flex.
Yeah, he goes the flex line, and he's going to be way up there. So his shot's going to be a lot easier than most.
Yeah, getting close to that line of trees is great because it just makes that gap a little bit easier to hit. So very important to do that, and he did it just fine. And now we see Matteo let that one a little low, but gets a great flare. Unfortunately, he gets in some brush there on the left side of the fairway.
Yeah, I think you're going to see me, Matt, and Gibney take the more traditional hyzer route on this hole. You really only have to miss one tree and just stay on hyzer. And Gibney pulled that a little bit, but it was stable enough to put himself in prime position for upshot for a 3.
Yeah, he's basically right up there with Cam as far as just throwing perfect tee shots, and you're going to be up next here.
I pulled that more than Gibney and got really lucky.
Was that your Halo Wraith again, or a
No,
Thunderbird?
that was a Thunderbird, but
Okay.
I hit those trees, and I'm kind of out of position for this shot.
Yeah, again, this line of trees right here in front of you is tough, and even your approach is going to be difficult. These trees right here behind your lie. Downey, hello? Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
You didn't tell me about this.
Yeah, I just kind of took my rock and just, I was trying to miss those trees to get down there as close as I could, and got a lot closer than what we thought. Me and Cam thought that I was about 60, 70 short.
Oh, what a last-second kick there for Matteo. And again, those touch forehands he's been throwing this round have been so money, and it's really gotten him out of a lot of trouble in a couple different scenarios as we see Gibney catching an early share on that gap. But again, want to go back to you real quick. That was probably one of the best approach shots we saw all day. I mean, so good. I want to give you a shout out for that one as we see Cam with his approach.
And Cam's in the spot that you want to be in, and he just leaked that out a little bit left. He still should have a putt though for his 3.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely some birdie looks going to be here. Gibney, unfortunately, catching that early tree, just trying to save a par here, and he's done a good job of doing that. It's a great approach.
Yeah, he actually cooked it a little bit. And
Oh, okay.
So I was talking about this fast green,
Sure.
landed right by the basket and skidded past about 30, 40 foot. Maddie's just laying up, taking his par.
Again, this is probably the second or third time at Admiral that he has looked in trouble and has somehow come out and put himself in a position to save par. He's yet to bogey. Another little high putt there. That happened to him a couple of holes ago as well, so just kind of putting a little bit extra on these last couple of putts.
Cam for a 3. He's about 25 feet away.
Money.
Another one for Cam.
Again, he had a really tough first couple of holes, I feel like, on the front nine, and I know he had that missed putt on hole 8 that he was a bit disappointed about. And obviously, he had like an amazing tee shot a few holes ago that unfortunately didn't work out for him, but he has just driven through all that, kept this composure, and has put himself in, second position on the leader card.
I think it's sharp putted from the right one.
We're seeing everyone else just kind of clean up here.
Yeah, and we had 3 guys on this card sponsored by Prodigy, and You heard Gibney there. He was just making sure he grabbed went to the right disc to putt from, because I think him and Matt had about the same looking disc for their putters.
Mm-hmm. As we see Matty O staying at 11 under. Cam gaining some ground, only 3 strokes behind now. And you and Gibney are still right there on the hunt at 5 down. We get into hole number 18, and this is probably the most difficult hole of this course. Number 17 played as the second hardest hole on the course, by the way. Yourself and Cameron were 2 of 5 players only to birdie that hole, so a really good job there from you. But now we get to 18, and why don't you tell us about this?
Yeah, 18, the tee shot's really important. You want to try to finish straight as possible, and if you are to the left, you want to be right in front of the short tee pad. And then from there, it's just negotiating this gap and getting up there to, don't try to bite off more you can chew, because if you get into either one of these sides of the fairways,
I would love to hear you negotiate with the gap. Like, just go up to it and just be like, listen, man, what do you need from me to let my disc come through?
Yeah, and that's
like
how
a toll
this
bridge.
hole feels. And even once you get up here, you still have a lot of trees that you have to miss as you approach this green, and
it's like a minefield out there.
it is. And one bad kick and you can a 4 can turn into an 8 real quick. So just get off this tee and then go from there.
Yeah, definitely one of the most difficult holes that you're going to play. So you start on a toughie and you end on one as well. As we see Cam taking the box, looking to go first here. And that looks pristine.
Yeah, he leaked a little left, but he
Yeah, he is a little bit pinched off.
about as good as you can get though for a miss on the hole.
Yeah, absolutely. You're coming in. What was that from you?
That was a Thunderbird that I threw a little high.
Okay. Yeah, you did get knocked down a little bit there. Matty O come up next. Looking to finish strong. He's already been playing so well.
Attaboy.
And just lace this drive. That's from where you want to be at right there.
I feel like that spot as good as it's going to get off that blue tee.
Here's Gibney trying to follow the bogey on the last hole.
Oh, man. Yeah, he is not too far behind Matty O there. Maybe just like 10 feet behind him. It basically took the same line, and again, perfect positioning.
I don't really have anything, so I'm just kind of laying up around the gap that Matt and Gibney are right in front of. And
Oh, man, right behind that last pine. Lucky you were going to be dead center fairway and be in a great position, but you just happened to catch that last tree. And, again, we saw Cam just a little pinched off here. He's going to have to throw a bit of a flex forehand to try to play some recovery. I think, yeah, like you said, nose it up until it fades a little bit more right than you wanted, but I think he's still in the fairway.
yeah, I think he stayed on the edge of the fairway, so he should have a little approach shot up to the basket. And this is where you want to be at, because now you can kind of attack this second shot and make it an easy approach shot on your next shot.
A little low, but still looks
Little
pretty
low,
darn good.
yeah, but that's not a bad spot to be in. He'll be able to get up there for a chance, approach for a birdie.
That wasn't low. That is perfect. Yet again for Matty O, just making this hole look so much easier than it actually is, and he gets such a good skip up, almost to the next card. What are you thinking here?
I'm just trying to make sure that I go left and that I don't pull it. Went a little bit straighter than I wanted. Got a big flare, but I caught that last tree, and I'm deep.
Oh, man. It looked like it was going to skip back in the fairway, and you caught like that last tree that kicked you right. And I feel like that is really what kind of set you on the wrong path. A little bit unlucky there in that regard, as we're going to see Cam looking to approach here. And it didn't. But
Yeah.
it still flared out, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's going to be about 50 short to the left of the basket. Should have an easy approach. This is Gibney for his chance. Nice little turnover. He's about as good as it gets on the hole.
That is pretty much a stress-free birdie putt right there for him. As Matty's looking to basically do something very similar, as he threw such a money opening 2 shots and just hits the pin. Okay, Matt.
And yeah, that's a good finish to a really good round. Start it off.
Kind of looking at getting said anything you can do, I can do better.
And,
Oh, no.
yeah, bad approach shot. Didn't really have much. I was just trying to get as close as I could, and I hit the one tree I had to.
Putting that bit up there to try to salvage, and oh, just a little right.
That's going to be for a bogey on this hole, so
Mhm.
not the way I wanted to finish, but Got Cam here trying to just navigate birdie putt, I believe.
Yeah, I think this is his going for birdie with the PA3. I mean, he had such a tough position there from a knee in the rough. Not a bad bid. This is Gibney looking for birdie.
Yeah, and this I think this will put him on the lead card for second round if he hits
Yep.
this putt. Dead center.
Again, his putting was phenomenal throughout this whole round. Didn't really only left like 2 high putts out there basically.
This is me to clean up my. Oh,
No way. That looked dead center.
yeah, it might have been a little high, but it just basket just didn't want to take it.
And there I am back there in shock myself. I mean, that was really unfortunate, I feel like. Cam will clean up the par. And this play is the most difficult hole at the tournament. It played .87 over par. There was only 5 birdies on it. And MADGA and Gibney being 2 of those. So definitely a very difficult hole to finish off the round here in round 1 at Admiral Blues. Again, MADGA tearing it up at 12 under. That is a really fantastic score for this course. Again, came out the slow start but came back to 8 under, so he will be on our lead card coming into round 2 as well. And then Gibney stayed on, as you said, with that big birdie putt at the end. And then Ryan Rhodes from Austin, Texas, sneaking in there. He'll be on the lead card at South as well. And great performances by Caleb, Matt, and Colin as well. And, you know, you're still in the mix. You're still kind of around that near top 10 position.
Yeah, I'm in a tie for 10th going into the second course, and should be good. But, I mean, Maddio's around here. I mean,
Unbelievable.
that might be the best run that I've seen at a tournament, and I got to watch it firsthand. It was just crazy. And, you know, Cam, 4 strokes behind him, and Cam, got off to a slow start. So without that slow start, it could be a lot closer than what it is right now.
And again, just thanks to all of our partners and such out there for helping make this coverage possible. And we'll catch you on the next round.